Homelander. He is the man of the hour. He deserves it. Look what everything he's been through.
All right, I didn't fully expect you to go full Homelander simp on us.
Yeah, step into the shadows.
We mapped the cosmic Cold War where the Jedi met the Syndicate and analyzed the master plan, the motive, and the wicked grit. From Gotham's gritty alleys to the throne room on Apocalypse, unleashing lore, heavy knowledge from the serpent's verbal exodus. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast.
And welcome everyone inside the Villainz Lair on a Thursday. So happy that you are here with us. Ryan, Alvin, how are you, my guy?
Good, man. Good. I can't wait to talk about the boys. A lot of emotions going on there from yesterday's episode.
Yes, the boys have to talk about this episode with one of the most tragic endings of the series so far. But before we do that, I just want to remind everyone to like these videos. It really helps the channel. Give us a subscribe if you are interested in superhero news and movie reviews and just all the fandom and geek talk in the world. We've got you covered Monday through Friday. So please subscribe. It really helps the channel. The likes help the channel. Engage with us in the comments. We want to hear from you. So talk to us. Tell us what you think about some of these topics, and we'll get right back to you.
Yeah, come on, peeps. Engage with us. We need this. And not only that, we have a Wolverine video game sweepstakes coming at you.
That's right. If you follow us on Instagram or on X, you have seen that there is a free Wolverine PlayStation 5 giveaway. You'll see that you just got to be a subscriber and share it with a few friends. Real easy. And you can earn a chance to win a free PlayStation 5 version of the Wolverine game.
Hell yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, let's talk about what everyone is here to hear about, and hopefully this is full spoiler territory. Hopefully you've watched the episode already. It was heartbreaking, but last night on The Boys, Homelander fully unhinged, and Butcher's gang has finally had their first major loss.
Yeah, man. Homelander, he is the man of the hour. What he's totally doing is, he's on his own right. He deserves everything he's getting, man, because he has all those powers. No one can stop him. Just let him be the leader, for God's sake. And speaking of God's sake, let him have that Church of Homelander. He deserves it. Look what everything he's been through. Come on.
All right, I didn't fully expect you to go full Homelander simp on us, but maybe you're worried about who's in the background. We have to talk about this scene here, though. This, the president of the United States, who is basically a tool and a puppet for Homelander as it is. Homelander sensed a little trepidation and maybe not being fully all the way in with some of the things he was saying. And he unfortunately met his demise with a two-handed head squash.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. The president was being a little bitch. He was, wait, let me say that again. The president in The Boys, not a real president, because I don't want to be targeted at all by the CIA. The president in The Boys was being a little bitch because he was just not listening to Homelander. Everything Homelander had to say makes sense. Everything like laws that he wanted to get passed. Everyone that was in for Starlight and against him, you need to get him out of there. You need to get in sanctuary cities where they really loved Starlight. Yeah, he was right about that. And what was the other stuff he wanted? He was saying that he should get passed. I forget, but he had every right of killing that president, and now he's about to be the true leader of the free nation. Actually, Ashley is probably going to be president.
President Ashley, yeah, she she finally had a debate with her other half and silenced her for good. And then there's that scene where she kind of realizes, wait, like she missed that second voice in her head. And she kind of had some regret for telling her to, like, get out of her life. The Homelander stuff, he just continues to get where, I mean, he's been unhinged since season like 1, right? Like it just sort of continues down this dark path, and he's now completely dissolved the 7. I mean, the 7 as we've talked about each week is then the 6, then the 5, and now it's just basically Homelander, and
he's gone. 7 is diminished, and Homelander, at the end of the day, he's just misunderstood, right? I mean, look at him with his dad. He has a little bit of daddy issues, and he put Soldier Boy back in the chamber, and that's because he didn't want his dad to go away. He just wanted him to be there for him, while Soldier Boy just wants to go off in South America and do cocaine and hang out with a bunch of prostitutes, and Homelander would be willing to give that for him in his town where he lives. And not only that, Soldier Boy just told him straight up, "It's you, not me." But then he went against, and then Soldier Boy was pretty much like, no, wait, is it going to be better if I say it's not you, it's me? So,
didn't he tell him, you're a weirdo or something like that?
Yeah, he went back. He first said he's a weirdo, and that's when Homelander was just like upset about it, because he loves his dad. He just wants a dad figure. So at the end of the day, if Soldier Boy just gives that to him, I don't think he'd be as unhinged as he is now.
Yeah. The headlock that he put him in, and just like the subtle "I love you" with almost like a kiss on the forehead at the end of that was just chef's kiss, as he's basically stabbing his dad in the back and keeping him from leaving. So at this point, if Soldier Boy didn't have a chance to leave, he still has the potential to play a major role in how the finale ends next week. We talked about the dissolution of the 7, and that included Deep getting the news to himself, and he goes off to sulk on a near a lake, or no, it was near the ocean.
It was like a pier of some
on a little pier on the shore, and has an interesting interaction with a hammerhead shark that was voiced by none other than Samuel L. Jackson. You could tell probably from all the MFs that he dropped during their conversation, and he lets the Deep know that the ocean life and the Deep have major beef.
It's hilarious to me that Samuel Jackson is now a hammerhead shark, and in the past he's been eaten by a shark.
He has, Deep Blue Sea.
So that's hilarious to me. But the Deep is also another character that's a little bit misunderstood. I mean,
no, he's not.
What? I mean, like, look, he also just wants to be loved. I mean, he still has a love for the ocean. He's had relationship with creatures like that octopus that he's had for so long in the aquarium. And now that his own I can't say people, his own creatures turned against him, he's now, and he also don't have the Magnificent 7 anymore. He doesn't have anything to live by. So maybe can we see Deep go as unhinged as Homelander? I still go by my take on Deep is going to eventually survive the whole thing. And she's just going to be living pretty, and Homelander's going to be dead eventually.
I would have bet everything I owned when Homelander told him they were done and the Deep turned around to walk away, that he wasn't getting out of that room alive. I thought for sure Homelander was gonna like eye laser him, in the back of the head or something, but no, he had enough, I guess, respect, if you want to call it that, to let him walk away. And then we get that amazing scene where then, the ocean creatures threaten the Deep, and then there's an old man drowning out in the ocean, and the people on the beach are like yelling, "Hey, there's the Deep! Go save my grandpa!" I think one guy was like, "Go save my papa," or something like that, some enduring term. And the Deep's like on camera, like slinking away because he knows, he heeded the warning that if he gets in the water, that they're gonna kill him. So
I don't think he cares for saving somebody's grandpa at this point. I think it's more about caring what the people thought of him before him jumping in the ocean. He was conflicted. It's like, oh, these people are gonna think I'm a total jerk off while I'm gonna get so attacked by all the ocean creatures. I think that was a confliction than actually saving someone's life. Because I don't think Deep cares about anybody like
But
that.
his publicist is on the phone with him, hearing this and going, "This is exactly what we need. Go do it." And
right, exactly.
It was so funny because the states that he wants to move to like restart over are all landlocked. And they're like, "Dude, his publicist is like, your whole thing is the water and the ocean. Like, you can't go to Arizona and places like that." But
he's gonna have to go on a different planet or old desert. He's screwed.
All right. Question for next week. Does Deep survive the finale?
Yes. I still go by that.
All right.
Absolutely. I think he's gonna be the sole survivor of the 7. And he's not gonna team up with the boys at all. He's just gonna, he's just gonna stand tall. And then out of nowhere, there's going to be a Deep spinoff. How about them apples?
Deep spinoff. Whoa. All right. We can't put this off any longer. Speaking of characters that survived or did not survive, and by we, I mean Butcher's crew, had their first major casualty of the series when Homelander came and ended Frenchie. He got this really dramatic and sweet moment at the end with Kumiko, and this one was tough. It's hard not to love Frenchie, and Frenchie is the first casualty.
You know what? We kind of predicted last week that a member of the boys was going to eventually go, and it was going to be real emotional. And I believe I also said something's gonna happen between the relationship of Kumiko and Frenchie, because they were really concentrating on the core of their emotions towards each other.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be straight with you here, Ryan. There's only one person to blame for this, and that's freaking Sage, dude. If Sage would have just listened to Frenchie and started helping him with that little chamber with the uranium and the radioactive stuff going on inside there, it all could have been avoided. Sage, why did you have to do that? That's your fault. You should take all the blame for this.
Well, if he would have just got her a chalupa instead of like she wanted, maybe she would have, worked a lot quicker before then she has to lobotomize herself temporarily.
Listen, Love Island isn't that good.
I know, that was really unexpected that Frenchie was a big Love Island fan and had such an intimate knowledge of every season and location they've ever done on that series.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was really emotional. Also, in conclusion, Love was to blame. At least that was what Sage was saying. It's because Love is what made this happen.
That's why he didn't get in the chamber with them, right? Like, he wanted to save, and you saw that when Homelander, even though he couldn't see through that material when he was, X-ray scanning the rooms, he still kept looking at that. And then that's when Frenchie, realized it and did like a little tap to just bring the fight to him and his attention away from that.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, even Frenchie at his last moments of his life was smart enough to do something like that.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you all the drugs he's done, all the orgies he's been in, and he was still really intelligent at the same of the day. Essentially, he was the smarts of the boys, so he was the man behind the brains of that whole crew. And
Yeah.
for him to change that dynamic now, it's going to be a whole different story for that crew and where they're going with the series finale. I'm sorry, rather.
Yeah. I mean, he's the heart of the team. I mean, some people may argue that's Huey and his kind of like always trying to find the positive mentality, but really Frenchie has been kind of the heart of that squad, and now that's gone, and you'll probably see if sounds like the experiment went okay, and that's going to be their big weapon against Homelander in the finale. We'll see how that goes. Before we move on to our next topic, just a quick prediction, I guess, next week. Do we lose any more members of Butcher's team?
Absolutely. Yes. I believe that one of the main leader of the boys is gonna go, and I believe Butcher eventually is gonna go, especially because he's getting a lot more powerful than he was too. And I mean, the man started off as a regular person and now being a soup, and just to have him become a soup all throughout the season, I feel like something's gonna happen to him.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think next week we lose Butcher. I think Butcher and Kumiko and Soldier Boy all die stopping Homelander, and kind of we lose the four of them next week.
I have a better question for you, Ryan, than getting this emotional stuff. What kind of sex jokes are they gonna have next week? Because yesterday they had the cat lady, whatever her name is.
Yeah, that was really wild.
Herself.
Yeah, I thought you were looking for him. I did. Yeah, boy, and then you had
I thought I've seen it all. I
know. And then you had Soldier Boy's, line about you just saw an angel, and if that's what made you a god, then I'm a god every night.
Yeah. Also, a shout out to Jeffrey D. Morgan for making a comeback in that show.
I love seeing Negan on this show because he really is just playing Negan without the bat.
Right, exactly. And also, before we leave, I know we got to move on to the next topic. Do you see a lot of Butcher and Frank Castle relating to each other?
Yeah, I think he's definitely in an homage to Frank Castle. I think there's like, obviously kind of like a British version, but yeah, there's definitely some ties to pay homage, with like similar ways that they dress, and just the gruffness now with the beard, and really taking no prisoners and killing indiscriminately. I think he was always written as an homage to Frank.
Right. Also the PTSD. He also have a war buddy.
Right.
That's haunting him.
That's a good one. As far as like the synergy of the shows. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, exactly.
And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the church, what's going on with those guys, with the psychics walking through their groups, and
well, RIP to all of them.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We'll look forward to the finale next week. Maybe we'll see it in theaters. We'll see how that goes. But let's talk about the Batman Part 2, specifically. Director Matt Reeves on X yesterday announcing some important returning cast members through a series of tweets and gifs here. Obviously teasing Robert Pattinson, the Batman, his return. Shouting out not the most well-known character here, but Officer Martinez, played by Gil Perez Abraham. And then you also get Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon here. So salute to them coming back. Here you get Jamie Lawson's Bella Real, who, if you watch Sinners over earlier this year, then you're very familiar with her as an actress, and you remember this scene from the Batman teasing her return. Here's the one I think that got people the most excited. Colin Farrell's Penguin. The Penguin is coming back for part 2. We all loved the season on HBO that the Penguin series had. That was awesome. He was great in the first one. And then finally, Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis's Alfred will return, which I think was obvious to us. But what Matt did tease, here we go. And we are getting some of these in real time here. Here it is. We were wondering if we were going to get some of these bigger announcements. And here is Scarlett Johansson, who is scheduled or is set to play Gilda Dent, the wife of Harvey Dent. We know Sebastian Stan is in this movie, and he is playing Harvey Dent. We know Charles Dance is in this movie playing Christopher Dent. But here is the first announcement that Scarlett Johansson is in this movie as Gilda Dent. Let's just do a quick refresh here to make sure that we haven't missed more news from the director. And again, so here, Scarlett Johansson confirmed by Matt Reeves himself. Huge news for the Batman. And again, another MCU veteran and famous actor making their way over to the DC side of things. What do you think about this?
Love it. I love it that they're switching sides. It's like in wrestling when they switch sides from like a wrestling group to another wrestling group, like the NWO when they were
exactly
right back in the day. I'm excited for Sebastian Stan as Two-Face, as Harvey Dent. Hopefully, he just becomes Two-Face right away and not so much of a backstory of being Harvey Dent. That would be dope. And also, Matt Reeves is pulling an Avengers type character tease. Instead of chairs with names of the actors, he's actually posting real gifs on his X, and he's just blasting the hell out of these posts. And fanboys like me, get all excited. But I'm going to be straight with you real quick, Ryan. I wasn't a huge fan of the Batman. And let me tell you why.
Hot take.
I watched the Batman on 5DX. And 5DX, as you know, has a lot going on there between the lights, the fires, water spraying at you, and your chair is just moving around everywhere. And as you know, in any kind of Batman movies, especially on the Batman, it rains a lot. So water was soaking up my popcorn. I couldn't enjoy my popcorn. And every time there was a Batmobile chase of some sort, I didn't want to have a chase. I was just like, stop this scene, because my chairs was moving too much. And my popcorn was spraying all over the place while it's soggy.
Were you getting exhaust fumes blown in your face during those car chases?
No, but the explosive fires was in the ceiling, so that was a little bit distracting. But regardless, either way, I was not a big fan of the Batman. Hopefully, the Batman 2, I will fall in love with more. Like I said before, when the Batman when they first started talking about it and was in pre-production, I would rather have Batman Beyond as the Batman in that film.
That would have been cool. Yeah, I mean, like I know we keep doing these versions over and over, and we're supposed to be getting Brave and the Bold, but where we get a Robin in James Gunn's side of town. But yeah, I think you doing a Batman Beyond would have been so cool, because it's just a different, you could have, it's an Elseworld project as it is. So you set it in the future, you set it on an alternate version of Gotham with
Yeah.
a different Batman, and that could have been a lot of fun. We've had the very real, hyper realistic Batman universes with the Nolan trilogy and the Dark Knight, and we're sort of just kind of getting that the same, but with a twist. Now, I really loved the Batman, and I think it was a really cool movie, and I loved how they, made a darker version of the Riddler, but yeah, I would have been totally down with the Batman Beyond. My question here with these announcements and knowing that Sebastian Stan is in this movie as Harvey Dent, who eventually becomes Two-Face, is there any chance that we only get Harvey Dent in this movie, or and then we get another main villain, or is this always supposed to be Harvey Dent Two-Face villain movie? Because if we get another main villain and then we get like the change to Two-Face at the end of the movie or towards the middle or end, isn't that just the Dark Knight all over again?
Yes, I think I think they're gonna vie for teases for other villains too. It's not gonna be just Two-Face and Harvey Dent, or maybe showing the Riddler in jail or whatever, or in Arkham rather. I think we're gonna get more because they're probably gonna push for a third one before Robert Pattinson gets too old to make it. And
What at this rate, man, if it's like this movie, it'll be 2034 before we see something.
exactly. So I'm saying, especially with the stakes that Warner Brothers have right now, they got to push for a third one, make fans excited for it, and just go balls to the wall with this one. And the third installment will be called The Batman and Robin. And then they're going to have the Rogues Gallery villains in here, not just one, not two, but pretty much kind of like the 60s Batman movie with all of them there.
There's so many of them. It's almost like a Sinister Six type, team up with Spider-Man. And
exactly. And obviously we know the Penguin's going to be there now too, so it's not
so it's the Penguin.
Two-Face. Yeah.
It's Two-Face and potentially someone else. I don't know that there's room. I mean, in the previous movie, Catwoman was probably more of a hero than a villain. You had the Penguin, you had the Riddler, and then Joker made the cutting room floor. So we might get like a Silence of the Lambs sort of moment where he goes to Arkham to talk to the Joker, but like he was supposed to in the first one. Or maybe they're hiding that. They're definitely hiding something.
It's not going to end. And my prediction is it's not going to end. There will be a little tease at the end, post credits, possibly, that is going to continue.
It's so interesting because of what is happening there, right? So you have Matt Reeves trying to do this Elseworlds trilogy, but you also have James Gunn who wants to launch his Batman so that he can tell the stories that they want to tell on their side of the DC universe and not, muddy the water with two different Batman at the same time. So, yeah, I don't know. I sort of feel like if James Gunn is fully in control, that he's hoping that this is it, that they tell this story and then it's like, thanks, Matt. We're moving on and we're now get to put Batman in our universe, but who knows? Who knows?
At the end of the day, it's all about this.
Right.
Exactly. If the money shows up, the box office hits, you're making a third one. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode inside the Villainz Lair. Again, just a reminder, we are doing this show with new episodes Monday through Friday, weekdays, every single day during the week, taking the weekends off. And we just want you to know that we are the premier spot to get all your news of what's going on in superhero media, whether that's film, whether that's streaming, whether that's comic books, whatever it is, we're going to cover it and give you all of our reviews and insight to what's going on right now. So if you like what you're seeing here, and if you've been with us for 30 minutes today, we appreciate you so much. Give us a subscribe. It really helps the channel. Like these videos, comment, like we said earlier, the comments, we want to engage with you through these videos, and we want to know what you like. We want to know what you still want to hear about and all the feedback that you have. So for Ryan and Alvin, we thank you all for joining us inside the Villainz Lair, and we will see you in the next one.